We get a chance to talk to the relay team that's going to the state for Sauk Centre, 4 seniors that will run in the 4x800 this coming week. With us right now, these guys. Can I have you introduce yourself and tell us who your parents are so we can hook you up with your family, okay?
I'm Jay Fredericks, and my parents are Pat and Lynn Fredericks.
I'm Timothy Smegin, and my parents are Paul and Linda Smegin.
I'm Joseph Gerhardt, and my parents are Greg and Rachel Gerhardt.
And I'm Riley Primus, and my parents are Dale and Nancy Primus.
All right, Riley, let me ask you, is this the order that you run in?
Yes, it is.
So what does it take to make up a good relay team? Why is Jay first and why are you last?
I guess it really doesn't matter, but the way we do it is like we have our fastest go last, and then our second fastest go first. And then in the middle, I don't know, we all push each other really hard, so we're all really close to each other's time, so I guess it wouldn't really matter what order it went in.
All right, so let me ask Joseph then, as you ran the section meet race then, what were some of the keys? Did you have a good time, or can you break it down for us and how it went?
Yeah, I think I had a pretty good time, and most of the part of the race, I just wanted to stay with the Pequot kid because I knew if I stayed close to him that Riley could probably catch him in the end because at subsections, that's the way it happened, so that's what I wanted to do.
All right, as we move along, the exchange is extremely important. I can recall, I don't mean to bring up bad news, but one time I saw you guys do something to where, Joe, you were kind of... Can you describe that one for us? And what does make a good exchange?
Well, we've been working on our exchanges, and yeah, we've had some bad exchanges throughout the season. I've been working on my exchange with Jay, and before our section meet, we hammered out our exchanges. So I always used to be in the 4x2, and I would go down low. But in the 4x8, it's a different exchange. It's an open exchange, so we go up high so we can grab the baton easier. So with a quick exchange, it's a quick relay. So,
You know, going back to Jay, you start out the race itself, and tell us about the race as you go around. How far is it, and what are you doing out there?
Well, it's 800 meters, which is a half mile, and me starting, I always try to stay as close as I can, either in front or as close as I can to the first runner, trying to get us in a good lead or at least in a manageable spot. Sometimes at the beginning of the race, I can get boxed in and stuff if I don't get a good jump. So it's really important for me to get out there, and then these guys can do their work then as we move on. So.
Well, let me see. You're a basketball player. Can you use your elbows out there?
Well, technically no, but once in a while if you give a good shove, I mean, nobody really notices. So
that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Riley here and talk about the mental aspect of a race, because I'm sure you see it with some of your opponents out there. You go out too fast or you're too slow. Take us through that as well.
Yeah, definitely. At subsections and sections, we've had a lot of good competition, and usually they've been ahead of us. So if there's someone ahead of you, you always want to try to keep up with them, see if you can beat them at the end. And yeah, in 800 seems like a lot, but it actually goes by pretty fast. And I don't know, it's not as bad as you would think, but you definitely need a strong mental aspect. Just keep telling yourself you can do this. There's 200 meters left or something, you're almost done, and then you just finish.
And from the beginning of the year, we knew that we would have a pretty good 4x8 team, given that we've had 3 of us made it to sections last year. And Tim wasn't in track last year, but we knew that he'd be pretty good. And so at the beginning of the season, our goal was pretty much to make it to state. And we just, throughout the year, just kept dropping time. And especially at the end of the year, we've dropped a lot of time. And we've gotten really good together. And so it's nice that we've reached our goal of making it to state.
Mm-hmm. So Tim, as he said that you weren't running before, what brought you here?
Well, I've been in track since 7th grade, but then I got injured last year. So at the beginning of the season last year, I hyperextended both of my calf muscles, so I couldn't run. So I was kind of sad about that. But I never ran an 800. So when I came back this year, when Mrs. Gerhardt's told me that I was to be running the 4x8, I was kind of surprised. I didn't know how good I'd be at it, and I knew this 4x8 team was pretty good from last year. It was kind of big shoes to fill, but I felt if I gave it my all, we could go far. So,
you know, Jay, let me ask you too. I just heard Coach Lean say, you can tell these guys anything, they will do it. Can you kind of address that issue too?
I guess our coaches are really good with making us work, and all of us are very determined to drop time. I mean, I know when I was a sophomore, I was running 15 seconds slower. And the coaches have really pushed us every year to get better. And yeah, everyone's dropping time, and they help a big amount. So
now, as you look at the state, do you look at other times, or does that really matter? Or how do you look at that?
I mean, it's more your own personal goal, like our own team goal. It's like as long as we're dropping times and we're giving our best, that's what's most important. But we haven't really looked at the other times yet, so we don't really know where we'll fill in. But obviously, we're going to give our best. And yeah.
So I guess the final word then, this has been very satisfying, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to you guys, okay?
Thank you.
And good luck at the state.